everyone. I'm gonna be good
Hi,
now.
everybody. Welcome. I am artist Robbi Firestone, and welcome to Creatives, Collectors, Crypto, and Cocktails. Now, I'm not doing cocktails because I have Indira Eye of I with me, and it's too late in Denmark for her, so she may have a cocktail. I do not.
I have a water cocktail.
She's got a water cocktail. So I'm a professional artist for 30 years, and I am obsessed with NFTs and crypto and the whole DeFi space. So in this video today, what you're going to get is NFT basics for artists and for collectors. So Indira and I are going to discuss our basic onboarding experience, onboarding into NFTs, which is basically called minting. There's also listing. So our experience onboarding NFTs, 1. 2 is basic jargon. You've already gotten some in this video, in this introduction. And what was difficult about the experience, what kind of things you may need to reach out and get help for. So those are the things we're going to discuss in this video, okay? Our experiences onboarding, basic jargon for NFTs, and what was difficult. This is a conversation style interview with Indira, one of my favorite new NFT artists.
You're so sweet.
She's not new. She has incredible experience as an artist, but I've just found her, so she's new to me. So just to give you my background, so 30 years as an artist, I've been written up in everything from the New York Times and the Huffington Post and blah, blah, blah. And I am brand new, and Indira has been helping me onboard. So I wanted to interview her about the onboarding process so we can support you all as I'm figuring out how to get on myself. So let me see my next note. Bifocals. So disclaimer, this is not investment advice. Period. No investment advice. We are by no means OGs in the space. We're just really passionate about it. And we're loving that we as artists have a way to take even more power over our own careers and distribution of our artwork. And so if you have questions, put them in the comments, because I'm going to do a series of these videos, these interviews, these cocktails with collectors and creatives. And we're going to talk about crypto for artists. So crypto art. So if you all want to check out my artwork, you can go to firestoneart.com, Firestone, Firestone, art.com. And if you want to check out Indira, I highly recommend seeing her work. It's I as in the letter I
know.
Of O-F, I, my eye. So IOFEYE.com. I of I. Okay.
You really get the essence of it. I love it. You're the first one who ever said it like that. That's so cool.
Really? Oh, good. Yeah. Well, I do the pantomime. I'm Italian, so I've got this whole pantomime thing going. So I think that's all. So that's me. That's her. My NFTs. I'm still getting them up. It's very exciting. And with that, we are going to start by what I want to do is ask Indira basics about her experience with NFTs, because she's a few months ahead of me onboarding. And so if you guys, again, if you have any questions, put them in the comments and subscribe to my channel, because we're going to have incredible cocktail interviews with people who are hardcore into the space and leaders in the space. It's so much fun. So with that, Indira, will you give your full, beautiful last name with all those consonants, just so I can hear it again?
So it's Indira Hashimbegovic. Usually I just say Indira IFI.
And you are Croatian?
So I'm born in Croatia, yes. And I live in Denmark now.
In Denmark.
Yeah, for many years. So
fabulous. Okay, cool. And so how long have you been a practicing artist, fine artist?
Some self-taught. I didn't go to art school. So it was a process finding out I want to do art, and that was kind of a slow, gradual process, but I'd say like 12 years or so that I feel like, okay, that's the main thing that I'm doing. That's the main thing I want to be doing. That's like, yeah, that's kind of I like how I think of myself would be like last 12 years. And before that, I would say like, yeah, I'd like to do some art, but I wasn't really open about it. I wasn't maybe even sure I wanted to do that.
Okay, cool. So do you mind just whipping up your website real quickly so we can just see some of your images? And maybe I'll whip up mine after you to see why we have this aesthetic. We're going to have to do a show together because our work is very, I don't know, it's very complementary of each other's.
Yes, and I think we're like, there's something also like we would like to work energetically. So I just felt that was a really instant connection when I went on your. So do you have me on screen share right now?
I just put you on screen share. It says that it's sharing. Are you on?
Let me see.
I'm closing out a bunch of I didn't realize I had all these windows open.
So these are yours. And what do I need to do something?
Me. So yeah, you just drive. Oh, are we not screen sharing? Hold on. Oh, I'm screen sharing.
How do I screen share? I need to do that myself.
Yeah, so do a screen share for me. So yeah, everybody just saw kind of what my OpenSeas account looks like. I'm concentrating. Oh, cool. There you go. Oh, great. Oh, I'm so excited. I love your work so much.
Thank you.
So this is your website, yes? And can you just
it's a website with
scroll so we can just get the vibe of your work?
So like, as you can see, I like to do different things and I'm kind of undecided. Like I don't have one medium. It's more like I have ideas and things that I want to explore and then the medium sort of occurs. But my beginning point was...
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, like I just wanted to show like my beginning point was has always been drawings. Like I started drawing and
beautiful.
Then that kind of caught on and I started beginning to play with paintings.
Cool. And that's watercolor. It looks like watercolor and ink. Is that what you're doing?
Watercolor, ink, coffee, like on all these where it's little brownish, like it was with coffee and with stuff. Like it was really me just like a kid going into these different mediums and just kind of seeing what I can do.
It's so exciting.
Because I think I came from a point that I didn't do art before, and it was also a little bit intimidating. And then to get myself to do things, I'd make mistakes, like I do deliberately, like just mess it up.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't make it any worse. And then I kind of start from that. And that kind of gave me this ease with creating. It was like, what's the worst that can happen? And then I started, it started being a thing for me to evoke or to generate mistake or thing I don't know what will come and kind of play with that.
Cool. Well, just give us a quick scroll because I want everyone to get a visual sense of just the dynamic, just how dynamic and exciting your work is. So you started as a pen and ink on paper with coffee and various medium, whatever struck your fancy. And then, so you can see how this translates so beautifully to digital work. So can you flip to a digital work? And how did you decide to go? Wow, that's so beautiful. How did you decide to go from paper to digi? And was it a difficult process?
No, like, so the thing is, again, like most of the other things, I do very intuitive. Like when I do things, I do it intuitively. And I used to like just have Adobe Photoshop. And I do take a lot of photos and played with filters and all of that stuff. And then I started kind of like realizing, okay, you can do some stuff digitally, but you can see in a lot of my stuff, it's very rough. It's very unrefined. It doesn't have that
raw.
And a lot of it, it's raw. And it's also a learning process. It's like somebody who actually who didn't really know Photoshop, going into Photoshop and being like a kid again, like cutting things up and playing with things and putting them together and being like, I really like that.
God, I love it. Okay, so let's flip to NFTs because that's what this is. You know, I just wanted to see that you're a real artist. You know,
well, thank you.
So you translated, you pushed into Photoshop, and it's very funny. One of my dearest friends from art school from Fashion Institute of Technology. I went to Parsons too, in Pasadena Art Center. But one of my dearest friends from art school actually is one of the top people at Photoshop. So I've been totally intimidated by Photoshop. So this is Known Origin, which is one of the places that Indira has her NFTs listed. And so show us Known Origin, show us Rarible. And while you're skimming, like visually keep us skimming through, because YouTube is so visual. So I want everybody to really get a sense of all of your work, you know, the body of your work. So this is one of the platforms which NFTs are offered, Known Origin. I applied yesterday, and you were saying to me that it's a very small staff of people who are doing this platform. And so they're kind of they're really curating artists. So if you're not an artist, don't try to get on this one, because they're really looking for professional artists who have been doing it for a while to keep this a really clean site. You and I had talked about, we had seen on the same day, I think, a person who put a pile of like dog mess and then a yellow flag in it that said NFT, which I thought was just so horrible. So that's the kind of stuff you want to stay away from. If you're going to invest in NFTs, you definitely need to find someone like Indira, who has
very kind. Thank you.
Well, it's just true. I mean, I gave up being a nice girl a long time ago. I just speak my truth, and I just love your work. Okay, so Known Origin, give us a scroll. Talk us through this platform a little bit. Tell us a little bit about Known Origin, and then flip us over to Rarible and maybe OpenSeas, and tell us the difference of what your experience is on these in bullet points, if you can, because I got lots of questions for you.
So I'd say, like, I started off with Rarible because that was the one you didn't have to apply for or anything. But I would say my experience is very short-lived because I didn't invest myself very much in like trying things out with Rarible. I just minted 3 things. And then I applied for Known Origin. And that was last year sometime. And at the time, I think there were like around 450 artists.
And that was 2020, like around December?
Yeah, somewhere like, maybe October or fall.
Okay.
And I applied to them, and then like a couple of weeks, and I applied to Async Art and I think I applied to Super Rare or one of the other ones. And they got back to me, which I was really happy about. And now, like, the funny thing with Known Origin is a place like I've literally just sold one piece of art there. But the community wise, like they have these community calls and the way people are, and the way I feel the people who created community are invested in this is really appealing, and it's really nice. And it's really about like, it seems to me they really care about art and showing art and helping artists kind of show their stuff without having it drown in lots of noise and lots of this like, just mint NFTs in order to get some money because that's the way you get money now.
Right.
So it feels like I haven't really been one to heavily promote. Like I've posted on Twitter and sometimes reposted and posted on some of the groups I'm in or on Instagram, but I haven't been like kind of chasing any of that. And I'd say as much as I myself like minting through this whole process, I think I was really as excited learning about this space and like the way it works and what might it mean, and like almost anthropophilosophically, like thinking, what does it mean? What does its new economy mean? How do people navigate in it? How do they talk about it? What is art now? What do you know, like all these themes. So I'm really happy about Known Origin, even though it's not like a place I've been selling lots of stuff or anything.
Interesting.
But I really like them.
Known Origin is the one with the community. Let's so flip me over to Rarible.
So so this is their main website, just to show like, and it's very neat, and it's like you can follow artists, you can do all these things. So this is my Rarible, and this is my very first stuff. And we're talking also like, that's another thing. We're talking, I minted at the time when Ether or ETH was, I think $300 or $400 at the time when I started minting. And so if you look at my different platforms, you'd see also like prices are all over the range, because it really depends on when I joined and when I thought and what I felt my work, what it felt was reasonable for it. And
well, and it was so unknown then, right? Okay, so I'm gonna grab, let's end screen share so we can have a chat again, because I want to ask you a bunch of questions now that you've shown us through known origin and through Rarible. So let me make sure that I want a gallery view so we are equal. There we go. Can you see a gallery view right now? Okay, good. Good. That's what I want recorded. Okay, so we've got all of these different platforms. And for me, platforms meaning where we can list NFTs. And here's the thing, you guys, all of those who are listening, another bit of jargon. So dApps are apps that are decentralized. So if you go into your Apple and you're looking for Rarible, you're not going to find it because into your Apple, searching for apps, because it's not an app. Apps are driven through Apple, kind of in a monopoly way. dApps are decentralized. So you're going to find Rarible.com and OpenSeas.io and all these places not in your Apple menu. Okay. It's a separate thing. That's kind of one of the whole points, is to take ownership back to the democracy rather than a big corporation. I love Apple. I'm an Apple user, but so Indira, let me look and see my logic here. So I've only experienced Rarible, OpenSeas. I applied to known origins, finger crossed. And I'm contemplating, do you, in your advice, think that I should apply to Mintable and Super Rare and just everything that I can? I applied to Nifty Gateway too, and then I realized, then I learned that, you have to have like 500,000 followers or whatever to be accepted, but I'm like, okay, whatever. So there are so many different platforms, and you've applied to a bunch of them and you're on a bunch of them. So now that you prefer known origins, are you still interacting with Rarible? Have you kind of said, okay, that was my entry point, now I'm up ramping and I'm really going to stay in this particular platform? What's your feeling about someone who's onboarding for the first time, who's really eager to do this, and yet, and then the other one you just told me about is let me look at it.
Here and now.
I lost the chat because that was our last call.
I'm gonna.
So how do you spell that one again, please?
I'm gonna send it.
Oh, you're gonna send me. So there's a new one that.
But this is Jesus, so this is not Ethereum based. But I can talk a little bit about that if you want, like when I talk about the experience system.
Yeah, I want to know what you would recommend to a very beginning onboarding artist who is stepping into the space right now. Where do you think they should go for platforms?
I'd say, like, depending on the kind of art you do and like what you're expecting from it, research your platforms a little bit. Like there is stuff that is more appropriate maybe for artists who are photography based. Like I know they have some photography based stuff. I know there are certain places that are really keen on the kind of 3D or very animated stuff. So it's sort of to look what interests you as a community and then apply. And I'd say while you're waiting, like pick one of the, if that's the way you want to go. If you want to go with the curated platforms where it's like, okay, there's going to be more artist based, whereas you do have Rarible and it's free, and OpenSea you can mint, but there are a lot of people minting. So as soon as you minted, you're like number some 100 or something within 2 minutes in line. But from what I see, from all the conversation, and I'm not in any way like an expert on this, but what I can see from conversation and from myself and from other people, it's not just about like you promoting, like going out there and selling it, but I think a lot of sales depend on people being parts of community, engaging with these communities, being on calls, getting to know each other, getting to know each other's art, kind of not just being like, look at me, I have this to sell, will you buy this, will you buy this?
Yeah.
Or just minting and expecting that the world's just going to like fall in your lap, because there's so many people, so many things being minted. So I'd say it's the same rule as with anything else. Like, where do you want to see your art?
Yeah.
And what appeals to you, and what can you live with? Like, can you live with high gas fees? Do you want to go that way? If you don't, then you maybe want to hit a known platform. Some people mint for very little, some people mint for a lot.
But why would you choose to mint for a lot? You mean according to a different platform? You're not choosing?
No, like, no. I mean, you can put a price, like your own price. Like some people are really high prices.
You mean mint as an offer to sell, not the cost of minting, not the gas, not the ETH or the Tezos or whatever.
If you're just starting out, and I'd say if you're just starting out and have no like community and nobody knows who you are and nobody in this space that are buying knows who you are, then I think you have to either have like really exceptional piece that people are just going to go, wow, somebody who's collecting something, or you might just fall like for somebody, I don't know what you're into, and then you just fall for a person who's like right into that niche. Otherwise,
I'm sorry, no, go ahead.
But it's just like this whole thing, it's going to take, I think, the same kind of work, just in another space, as it would to be an artist otherwise, and to interact and to network and to sell as an artist. Like, just because you can.
Are your collectors from your fine art, from your current collectors, right? Are they into the NFT space at all?
I would say
or are these buyers totally new buyers?
It's totally new people. It's totally new audience. It's totally new people. It's totally new people I'm connecting or interacting with. So I would say there is a slight kind of skepticism. Like with a lot of people I'm talking about this, is like, why would you want that? Can't you just save an image? It's a scam. It's a money laundering. It's
you really have to go direct. In fact, that's the funny thing. So what I did, going direct with my first collection on Rarible, because I'm still hoping and waiting to get connected with like a known origins or a super rare. So what I decided to do in thinking, I think this NFT space has given me an entirely new opportunity to express a different part of my artwork. Like one of the things I really, really love to do, I love our bodies. I love women's bodies. I love nudes. I love doing really beautiful, sexy, very colorful graphic pieces. And I've never introduced it to my collector base before, because it's just a different work, and I've been a little timid about it, not intimidated at all, but timid about it. Plus, you can't really market nudes on Facebook, and you can't
or Instagram, actually,
And so what I did, you and I were talking about the fact that a lot of the folks in this space are these young hotshot guys who are, coming into hundreds of millions of dollars and collecting art for the first time. So I bravely kind of put I'm going to do a screen share real quickly. I've put wait a second, where did I go? I've put this other artwork where, I shoot models or I photograph myself. And then I make these kind of really beautiful, colorful, well, I probably shouldn't call they are beautiful, pieces together. So isn't that interesting? I can't even find my collection. Oh, there are my collections. Like here, I can't even figure out how to change this opening shot, right? So if I've got this one here, I actually tried to change this already. And I don't know if OpenSea is just taking forever to change it, or if it just didn't accept the change, but I hit this edit to change that and it just didn't edit it. And I've added new items, but they aren't showing up here. right?
Yeah, that's what I've heard happen to other people.
And
so, but
like
I said,
here's my crypto girls that I put in this morning. I put in like this one. Okay, so this one's really
so they're
fun.
a whole new collection. Like you created a new collection for them. Yeah.
Exactly. So crypto girls are kind of these, this one is fun. I put, we are buy and hodl girls. So I'm using the jargon and, you know, and it says we are buy and hodl girls, alt, you know, basically ulterior lifestyle. Crypto is my first love. And so I wrote, just like the volatility in crypto, relationships vacillate with ups and downs. If you strive for sexy good, jump and dump is not the strategy. Yes, hot girls like moons and Lambos, but the really hot, smart ones are curious, smart as hell, and will up your game.
I like that.
So I've kind of done this naughty writing for this particular collection. And I'm having such a good time getting all this together and creating these digital works. So that's my Rarible right now. And I'm pretty sure I'll be accepted into some curated space, whether super rare or whatever. But just to bullet point for the people watching. So there's super rare in terms of platforms that they can research. There's super rare, mintable, foundation.
Can I screen share?
Yes,
for a second.
Yes.
So I did this one earlier.
Oh my gosh, your white paper.
Okay, this is not good. This is not a good screen share. Let me just see. It's here. Do you have this on screen share right now?
I do. Yes, I can see.
Good. So I did, and I can share this with you, or we can put it in a wiki. So basically, I was trying to make the list of all these marketplaces and spaces and whether or not they need application, and then the link to their application site. And
that's amazing.
So this I could share, and then I was like, I wanted to put podcasts and all the other material and about how to get wallets and all this stuff, but I didn't get as far as I wanted to.
Maybe just start different documents too, you know, and just create.
Yeah, because it's like that.
It's going to be a living document. I say it's like your estate plan, basically, like your will. It's a living document, right? I mean, it's always going to be changing, you know, whether in your mind or whether year to year. So just if you consider a living document, that books are the same way. They have to be, you know, updated, right? All right.
And for this also to be sorry, just like to not be me who's because I have a limited knowledge in something, and I'd like to share what I know, which is probably like debatably valid sometimes, but I'd like to share it. And if people are really know something more than I do and want to help out somebody who's starting out, like then they can edit. That's why I had this idea for a wiki, because I think
it's a great idea. Yeah, a wiki is a great idea. Okay, so let's get some more deliverables for folks who are watching. So so basically one of the things
I used to, oh my God, I'm still sharing my
you're still that's okay.
Did I stop now? Good.
Yeah, good stop. Yep, you're good. So let me see. So one of the other things that we need to tell folks about when you're doing in the NFT world. So there are basic jargon I'm going to run through real quickly without a lot of explanation. YouTube has incredible resources. I'm getting like so many calls. I think somebody's trying to book me. So Ethereum is the blockchain itself. And as I explained in the last time, if someone needs to know, so like if you picture the internet being like this, and then the blockchain is like a layer on top of it that's encrypted and secure. And then like, if you think of the blocks as like Legos on the blockchain. So Indira's information is here, like her banking, her keys, her art, everything lives in this like Lego or this block. And then Robbi's live here, and then Hugo's live here. And so, I mean, that's like totally oversimplified, but basically this band is encrypted enough that and each of these blocks are encrypted enough that it's not hackable like just the internet. So that's the basic understanding as I know it. If you have a better one, write it in the comments below. So Ethereum is basically right now the predominant blockchain. There are competitors moving in, but pretty much even the competitors are building on Ethereum. So gas prices you'll hear about, which is essentially each of the platforms uses a certain cryptocurrency. So you don't pay in US dollars, or what's your currency in Denmark?
It's krona. It's Danish krona.
Krona. So you don't pay in a federally denominated currency. You're paying in cryptocurrency, because again, the concept is to decentralize. So get it out of the nation, get it out of these centralized businesses and governments, and take it into DeFi. So, or decentralization is decentralized finance. That's what DeFi means. So gas prices for NFTs, basically, you're going to be paying in ETH or Tezos or any other of the cryptocurrencies. So you need to have a wallet. And a wallet this could be an entirely different YouTube. So the wallets have stumped me, and we won't even get into wallets right now. We're going to do another one about wallets later. So you're going to have to get a wallet, and you'll have to do some research to figure that out. I'll do another YouTube. So subscribe if you want my wallet YouTube, and I think I'll be interviewing someone soon about that. And that wallet protects and enables you to transfer just like your bank, except it's not a bank, because again, it's decentralized, it's DeFi finance in the cryptocurrency world. So that is a basic about crypto and interaction with cryptocurrencies and NFTs, where you're buying your art, not with the US dollar, but with Tezos or ETH or whatever. And each of the platforms uses a different cryptocurrency. So it may take you a while to figure out, how do I load Tezos to get money, which, it's very volatile. And again, we are not offering any investment advice. If you don't have a penny to gamble, do not get into this world. So that's a bit about crypto, the basics of the blockchain, and about platforms. So, and a little bit about wallets. So one of the things that I tell my collectors that's super important is, again, to make sure that you find an artist who is established and talented with a biography. Someone with a resume. Ask to see the resume, visit their website, because if you're investing in NFTs, first and foremost, if you love it, buy it. It's just like walking into a gallery. Say, yeah. If you love it, just buy it.
Whatever, whoever did, like, might be somebody who's 17 years old. They don't have a resume, but it might really just be genuine about it.
If you like it, buy it. That's the number one rule. If you're looking to resell, which is also something NFT, you absolutely have to go like it for sure. That's number one rule. But two, also look at that resume, see if that person is creating an environment that will up level the value of their work as their lives go along. I've been a professional artist for 25 years full time now. I love it. I ain't quitting. And every one of my artworks is going up in value, even, as we speak, because I continue to build on the brand and build on the value of the artwork. So another thing is supporting others in the community. So artists who are listening and collectors who are listening, the other way to up-level the value of your work and your being known in the environment is to do exactly what beautiful Indira has done for me, which is basically, we met, shout out for NFT Ladies Lounge, Taylor Starr, you're a rock star. We need to get her and a couple of the other girls in there on a call like this and actually have cocktails. I talk about our experience. Would you do that with me?
Yeah, of course.
Wouldn't it? And so supporting others in the community. So just like Indira has kind of taken me by the hand and had a few calls with me saying, this is what you can do and watch out for this. And this is jargon. And I don't know how that works. We're going to have to figure it out together. So that's why I'm creating this YouTube, is that the hope that we can support you, and therein you can support the next artist, because the sense is that this is really going to disrupt the gallery world. Maybe not the Gagosians and the Yarez's and the Sotheby's and the Christie's of the world. Well, it's already disrupting Christie's and Sotheby's, right? Because they're all in on this at a very high level.
It's very actually transforming, the way.
Yeah, it's transforming the art world. So if you're a gallery owner, if you are an artist, don't leave yourself in the dust and really get educated about this, because it's awesome. So supporting others in the community, and Indira, back to you. So how have you benefited by supporting others in the community? Has it helped you? And you were saying, being involved essentially in helping other artists. Do you think that's going to help your sales? How do you think, I know energetically you and I believe in
reciprocity.
Reciprocity. I'm like, reciprocity is not the word. All right. Wow. Brain hormones. So reciprocity. How do you think that it benefits you in this NFT space for you to be so supportive of me?
So I tell you a little bit just kind of the background. I got into it. I started reading about it, listening to all the podcasts, and a little bit intimidated, felt, first of all, lots of these people who are really brilliant digital artists have been working on this 3D and doing things that I've probably seen in movies that I have created. And I was like, I'm not ready. So it took me half a year to even feel I'm ready to even, just dare to go into this field. And then I did. And then I started following lots of things. And I started following a lot on Twitter, until Twitter's feed basically transformed into a crypto art feed. And then at some point I got really saturated with selling and buying, and it was just, I know we need to sell, and I know we need to live off something, and we all do, and we all want that, but at the end of the day, we're all creating art for a reason. We're not selling another product that could be really probably much more profitable and easy to sell if we just want to sell products.
Pharmaceutical supplies.
Yeah, you could pick anything. You could pick a thingy for your iPhone, would be probably easier to sell, and you'd have lots of people buying just a plastic. That was not the reason. And so I kind of started feeling I really want to interact with people. I don't want to forget why I do art, even though this NFT thing is a big thing and you can make money. And I don't want it to be rush to make money. And I want to meet people. I want to interact, because it's a quality of my, so it's selfish. It's quality of my daily life is how I interact with people.
Yeah.
And I started looking for communities, and I started looking for ones where the tone is nice and supportive, and where we're not trashing each other, or where we're not saying you should know that. If you don't know that, it's okay to ask. If you don't create something somebody likes, then okay, well, then you can just scroll on. And I kind of felt we have a possibility as a creative community to help each other in the transformation and transition. And a lot of the stuff that we do and create together onwards is also going to be based on the code of conduct we have with each other and the kind of ethical stuff we establish. Yeah. So I met you, and I met some of the other women in the group, and I just felt the way we were exchanging was much more about what matters to us and why do we do the things that we do, and what kind of, than it was about just selling. And I know if you need help, and you're going to help somebody else, and we're going to be more people, and we're going to have more quality conversation. And if you make money and you're an artist who is doing well, then you have surplus to help somebody else or help a kid get creative.
The rising tide lifts all boats, we say in US. Do you say that? The rising tide
something,
lifts all boats.
So similar, and but the essence of
I love how aligned we are in that it's really about supporting one another. And one of the other things I really love about this online community is I live in Santa Fe, New Mexico, which is an artist community.
Yeah,
we are number 2 or number 3 art community in the United States after New York City. Even though we're a very small town, we have hundreds of galleries, literally, and thousands of artists. I mean, everyone in this town is an artist, and it's really incredible. And yet there's a real sense of competition, which for me doesn't it doesn't work for me. You know, I am competitive with myself, but I am not competitive with other artists, because you are creating from the space of your soul, of your truth. So and there's no way that we can compete over that. You know, I think it's kind of silly. It's like competing over, is my soul prettier than your soul? You know, whatever. It doesn't make sense. But to reach out and find you in Denmark, and then I have this other artist in Taiwan that I'm going to interview, and another in Berlin. And it's like I'm able to go at a really high level and find these great artists who are incredible humans, and build our own community at this other level. It's really exciting to me.
It is exciting, isn't it?
You know, and having this interview, this conversation with you, we'll have so many conversations after this, you know. So back to questions. Let's see, we're 3 minutes away from top of the hour. We can go a little longer because I think I got a little.
Yeah, it does that, the Zoom.
So you said when you're minting, to start with something good, but not your best.
Did I say that?
Oh, did you not? Oh, you said you did that in Rarible, I think.
Yeah, I started off with something, like I started off the first one as a test, you know, like to see and see how does this work. So I picked the work. There was no strategy behind my first minting. It was like, I want to try if I can mint, and then I could. Yeah. And so it was, I would say like.
So just test with something that isn't your AAA piece, right? Because you may find out that you charge too little later, or, you know, you're learning how Ethereum swings or Tezos swings. So maybe it wasn't you. I think it was my friend in Taiwan who said that. So that's one thing. The other thing you have to be conscious of as a beginning artist is you have to price really kind of over 0.2, because your gas fees alone just to mint is going to be, you know, you'll go into the negative if you don't get at least that. Is that correct?
So that's like, I would say that's a temporary current picture for the Ethereum network as it's been for the past month or so, that the gas fees were really, really high.
So as of now, I would say we are in April of 2021 for whoever's watching this. And right now, Ethereum, I didn't check it today. Actually, I did, but I've already forgotten. It's like 2,000.
So there's this whole thing about the Ethereum 2.0, which wouldn't cost as much, but we don't know when that's coming. And then I mentioned Hik at Nunk, like I sent you the link, but that's a place where gas is. Let me just see, like I can just see my last gas.
So while you pull that up, the question, one of the things that I tried with my NFTs is 2 different series. So what I've done is I do original pieces, and then I may print a limited edition of 1 to 5, right? That are limited edition, they're never going to get, but they're actual physical pieces. So, and we know,
so like art prints,
Yeah, art prints or even originals. These are originals that I'll NFT and stamp with the NFT stamp, right? The holographic stamp. So that's another, I'm actually going to do an interview with Elizabeth Hewlings of the Clark Hewlings Fund soon. And we're going to talk about retroactively stamping your physical art as NFTs, so that the provenance is there to up level the value for the collectors. So you guys subscribe to my channel so you get that one if you're interested in retroactive physical provenance in the blockchain as NFTs. So I talked to her yesterday about doing that. So my question, Dira, is one of the things that I tried is to do 2 collections. Like one collection is essentially the physical piece. So this is an actual physical piece of art, right? It is one of a kind. It's done with soft pastel. I'll never be able to create another one. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to mint it on the back, put that crypto stamp on it. And that one I'm going to sell as an NFT, but the person will receive the physical artwork. So that's one, which obviously would be a much higher, 2000 or 1 ETH at least for that, versus prints, which could be glass, they could be giclées, they could be whatever. If they're 1 out of 100, then you're going to charge a lot less. If it's 1 out of 5, then you can charge more, right? So that would be collection number 2. And then collection number 3 might be, I'm going to offer this digital art piece with, and those I might send a small print, or some kind of print along with the digital, right? And then number 3 would be the idea of just selling the digitals. What do you think of that as a strategy? Because I'm trying to think of my sales stack and like, how do I make this really special for the buyer? Are you offering things like that?
I would say you're much more organized when it comes to that. Like mine has been like purely, I have this piece, it feels finished, and I'm just going to mint it, and I'm going to test the place to mint it. So I would say like, I would love to be more organized and more strategic like you, because I think it makes sense for collectors, for people viewing your stuff, that they can see like the background story, the kind of logic of your minting, what might be coming after, what might they be getting. So I would just say like, go for it. And then you let us know how it went, because as you can see, like on most of my stuff, it's just
one-on-one.
It's singular works, and they are a collection because it's the same sort of logic,
it's the same body of work. If you hung your work in a gallery, it all goes together. And I have
you could see
various, I have portraits, right, and graphite on playboard. I have sunsets, and then I have these crypto sexy girls, right, digital art. So I do these 3 kind of very distinct things that are my collections. And on my website, firestoneart.com, you can see all those collections. And then I release usually 2 collections a year, an autumn and winter, and a spring and summer. That, like right now I'm working on my spring collection of landscapes that are essentially water based, whether it's ocean, rivers, because last autumn and winter were all just desert sunsets like this one. And now, because we've been in COVID, I've been longing to go to water. So I've been painting on water. I live in the desert. So, okay. So you just said, test the place to mint it. Tell me what that means to you.
So to me, it would mean like, if I could take it just like to the beginning and say, okay, I'm just getting on. I uploaded some funds. I have a little bit of to spend to mint. What would I do? I'd still do like the thing I did, is do the research of those different things and say of the different platforms to see, can I see myself there? And then if I didn't have lots of funds, and if I didn't know if I could sell, I would probably go and mint on Hiketnong, even though it's tease us and just kind of to get started and to meet people, or Mintable, where you can mint without paying gas to begin with, or to go to OpenSea and start a collection where you only pay gas once, and then you can just kind of keep on uploading to your collection. And then pick, I'd say when you're applying for these curated platforms like Known Origin or Super Rare or Nifty or all of that, I would think the good ideas would be to treat it as though you're applying for a place that literally curates art. So send your portfolio and kind of, there's so many different kinds of art that they do support. So just be yourself, like without, I know it's a very, very cliche things that we say all the time, but it really, I think it's a key to not kind of try to figure out, oh, this is what works and this is what I'm now gonna do, because that, I think that really shouts through your art, whether you did it genuinely or whether you did it because you think it's a fad that's just gonna pay off. And for myself, I'd rather buy something that's just done in like very naive, almost imperfect stick persons than I would something
Mhm.
that's absolutely perfect, just because it's the thing.
Yeah.
And I think these people, you know, like they're reviewing art every day, and they're gonna smell out if you're just doing this for the
Yeah.
wrong reason. So I think like just genuinely apply and say something about yourself as an artist. They can see who's the human behind, and how are they gonna do this, and how are they gonna contribute. And all of
You
these
know,
places is like, go to their Discord. They have a lot of community conversations, and I'd say
and
like
tell me,
engage, listen what people are saying and about their experiences, and
so
ask.
Discord, I've just come across Discord. So it's a conversation platform. Tell me what Discord is, because I have not registered yet.
Yeah, so
But I
it's
need
like
to. What is it? Do you want to do a screen share, or is it, can you just tell us, is it like Clubhouse? Is it like Twitter? Is it like, how is Discord needed, and how is it different than crypto Twitter?
It's like, it's an extended, you could say like it's a kind of extended chat app thing with different rooms. So like if you go to a known origin or to a wearable Discord, and you're gonna have like these different chat rooms. One could be help or support, another one could be show your art, third one could be community call or something. You can have calls there as well.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes, it's kind of, it has this feel, I like it. It has this like a little bit almost old school feel with just chat rooms basically. So I know it used to be big for the gaming people.
Okay, right.
But pretty much every one of those, like you just sign in, and every platform has either Discord or a
I saw
Telegram.
that. Yeah.
And it is just a good place to like go and see who's also asking the questions that I'm asking, and who's posting what kind of work, and what people are active on this, and what are they active with, and what seems to be like the general tone of satisfaction or dissatisfaction or community, who's showing up on the calls all the time.
Okay.
Kind of.
So you've really found very high value in interacting in Discord.
Yeah, like beyond again, like I said to you, because part of my interest is like to learn what is this like new space, new economy we as humans are.
I love your nerd too. I love beautiful nerds, pretty nerds. I actually have a culture club in my town where I call them all pretty nerds, because you know, they're all really hot babes, and yet they're super smart.
I found there are lots of like really
a lot of us. So okay, another couple last questions before we close out, because we're getting close. Okay, one thing I was going to say to anyone, as you're applying, before you apply to these, they're going to ask for videos, like for you explaining yourself.
Only super rare, I believe.
A couple of them do Nifty Gateway and super rare. So, so write a bio, like take the time. If you don't have an artist's bio that's really clean, that you wouldn't feel good about submitting to a gallery, write a bio. And there's a million resources about how to do that. So, so that's a huge bit of advice. And also, I really learned, Indira, from your descriptions of your artwork. I went in today into my collections and wrote a description of the particular art piece. And that's when I got really fun into writing my crypto girls, naughty girls, you know, descriptions.
I love to read description, and some people are against it. Some people say like, well, art speaks for itself. And I'm also cool with that. Whenever you post, like, I feel, you know, I can talk for ages, and when I write, I like overwrite. I always go over the limits. I'm kind of person who just writes and do that stuff. But I love to read the backgrounds. Like,
I do
that's
too.
my thing. I just love it.
And yours is so poetic. I really loved it. So Discord bio. And is there? So I think I've kind of covered all my questions. That, you know, I mean, I could ask you a million more questions, but is there anything, any advice, any thoughts, anything I didn't ask you that I should ask you about this whole world, for, you know, going back to our ideas in the beginning, the deliverables, our experiences onboarding as NFT artists or / minting, which is the jargon, which is how you actually put your work to sell. 2, basic jargon. I think we went over a lot of jargon. We probably don't need to do that. and what was difficult or advice that you haven't given in this hour that you really think that people should know? Is there anything we're missing?
No, I just okay, so I'd sum up what I would say in essence to somebody starting out. I'd say, go for it, spend a few days researching, do not get intimidated, ask people, give yourself a little bit time and patience to figure out what it is. My personal would be, in order to sustain any art life or career, do what you would otherwise, like applying the same way, post quality stuff that you would otherwise, and interact with people as you would in real life, or as they were your artist community. Like, they're not just somebody behind a bot name. It's like, it's a person, they're also creating, they're maybe buying. So it's like, it's essential, I would say. And then ask people. There are a lot of resources out there, and figure out for yourself like what your reasons are. I started writing my manifesto the other day, like my manifesto for being in crypto art, like what values do I actually want to have, and what things are important to me. And it kind of just felt good. Like it's probably going to be extensions of the manifesto you have for your own life, your own values, but if it, because there are going to be like lots of trends, there are going to be fads, things are going to come up and they're going to fall. But I think the way in which we relate to each other and the way you promote your business or your art or you do your things it's still kind of following the principles that are good. Yeah. So if you do that, I think you're going to do well in any space. Yeah. Because it's another dimension of our being. It's not like a complete interruption of who we are possibly as humans. So we can take the good things with us. Absolutely. And I'd say ask for help. And there are people who really want to help you. And it's okay to be a beginner, and it's okay to, I'm really a beginner. You said Indira should know some other. I don't. Like, I'm really in so many ways a beginner. And I'm looking what other people are doing.
You know, Indira, I just to encapsulate that beautiful offering you just made of I know I'm going to love you for a long time. I love you a long time.
Thank you. I love you a long time.
Because your energy is so beautiful. Your generosity is magnificent. And your artwork is off the hook beautiful.
I appreciate it.
Again, everyone watching, so I, as in the letter I, of O-F, I-O-F-E-Y-E, iofI.com is Indira's website with her beautiful, beautiful artwork. I'm sure she has links to her NFTs. You can look up all of her handles for Instagram, Facebook, all of the above is I, and all of mine are Robbi Firestone, R-O-B-B-I Firestone, which you see. Probably I'll put the logo above here soon. So, and yeah, I love that final ask. I mean, I was wandering around in the NFT Ladies Lounge, and I was looking at people I liked and felt good about and resonated with. And when I asked you if you'd be willing to hop on a call with me and help me, you said absolutely. So I was so grateful for that. And that's created this acquaintanceship,
opportunity to
I
meet.
hope will grow into something even more interesting as we go along.
And I love to have met you.
I know, I'm so happy to know you. And I am going to, like I said, I'm going to put together a ladies lounge group of girls. So if you want to do that with me, maybe we choose like 4 other ladies and we literally have cocktails and just talk.
We should. We must prepare. Then
so I think I'm going to ask Mia. And anyway, so okay, we're going to sign off because we've had you over an hour. So everybody, thank you so much for watching. Again, I'm Robbi Firestone, fine artist, Indira, I of I. And we are, again, not offering any investment advice, period. We are just fine artists, career fine artists who've been at this for a long time, love the idea and are totally nerding out on crypto and NFT art. And if you have any questions, please put them in the comments below, because that would could potentially lead me to doing another video like this to answer your questions. So I will be doing a big series of this, maybe never stop, because I love it so much. I'm meeting such amazing people. So subscribe if you don't want to miss anything. And here's to your art. Keep going. Indira, do you have a last word?
Just one last word. I was thinking, in your comments, in the link, we can share the links to these documents, or Perfect. To the wiki or something, and kind of update it along the way, and people can add.
I'll do that in the description of this video. So with all of our details and everything. So anyway, okay, everybody.
Bye.
Here's to creators, collectors, crypto, and cocktails. Join me again. Mwah. Thank you so much. Talk to you soon.
Talk to you. Bye.